Hi guys, Crazy Teacher Nick here. So these are some examiner tips for the 9093 AS Level English Paper 2. Okay, this is not just for the exams, but this is what examiners will say will help you score well in your exams. So definitely something to take note of. Might be a little bit of repetition in here, but that's okay. Okay, so understanding audience purpose and text type. Okay, so always check what is the purpose of the writing task, who is the audience, and what is the text type required: leaflet, email, article, or speech. Sounds obvious, but under stress, easy to make mistakes. Okay, make sure your tone, your register, and your layout, that it matches the audience and the purpose. Okay, for example, in this one of the specimen papers for question 1A, it uses a chatty tone. Okay, so second person you and subheadings for a teenage audience. Okay, structure your text accordingly. So for a leaflet, for example, use headings, use paragraphing, bullet points. Okay, for an email, don't forget to include your recipient, your subject line, your sign off. Okay, examiners award marks, okay, for your audience and your purpose. Okay, and students lose marks for poor alignment. Okay, so writing like a formal essay when the task asks for a magazine article, these things can cost marks. Okay, plan your writing before you dive in. Give yourself about 5 to 10 minutes to think. Okay, this is making sure you understand the question. Okay, GTQ, so RTQ, read the question. Okay, what are the key messages? How are you going to structure your text, the introduction, the body, your conclusions? How are you going to section up your ideas? Okay, what language devices or voice are you going to adopt? Okay, in section B, pick the prompts that you feel the most comfortable with, where you can show your strong ideas and understanding. For your commentary, okay, write about the piece you produced. So you make sure you've kept your planning and that you know what you're basically going to do so you can refer to them later. Okay. Make language and structural devices count. Okay. Use varied sentence structures. Use interesting vocabulary, but don't use crazy words that you don't know how to use. Okay. Use your stylistic devices. Okay, rhetorical questions, direct address, repetition, subheadings if the format allows, if the text type allows. Have that engaging opening you want to show off to the examiner. Okay. Use transitions between paragraphs, but make sure that they flow logically. Don't just be shoving in a firstly, a secondly, a thirdly, wherever. Okay. The transitions are there to help your reader. Okay, structure your text and think carefully about how you're structuring your text. Okay, accuracy in your spelling and your grammar, they matter. Okay, mistakes may distract the reader and cost you marks under assessment objective 2, so be careful. Okay, use appropriate vocabulary, not too simple, but not too forced either. Okay, make sure you're using the correct register. So if you're writing for peers, you can be a little bit more informal. If you're writing for an older audience, you'll want to be a little bit more formal. Common sense. Okay. Avoid drifting into summary. This happens a lot in that question 1B. Okay. Stay focused on your task. Okay. Specifically on your reflective commentary, okay, you should explain what devices you used to help you meet the task, okay, focusing on your purpose, your audience, and your form of your text. Write in a more formal register. Okay, this is like a formal document you're presenting to the examiner. Okay, so be a bit more formal in the way that you share your ideas. Be selective. Okay, pick those key language and structural devices that you used and explain why you used them. You wrote it, you know why you included them. Okay, mention and be positive. Mention how successful your choices were. For example, I used subheadings, but this helped the reader to scan the leaflet easier because my target is older teenagers used to quick reading. Point, evidence, explain. Don't rewrite your entire piece. The commentary should reflect on it, not retell it. Okay? Analyze, don't summarize. Okay, time management. Now, guys, time management is a bit of a weird one. Okay, because you got 2 hours, so pretty much you got 60 minutes per section. Students will have been trained in different ways how to approach this. So this is a rough guide, okay? But my warning is, okay, once you're finished with 1B, move quickly and smoothly to your section B, okay? Do not waste time on section A. So you've only got 60 minutes. Don't go 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes, because you're going to need at least 60 minutes to be effective in that section B. Okay? You're going to lose marks, but you may have to sacrifice some of your questions 1B in order to basically accumulate more marks in that section B. But this is a rough guide on what you can think about in writing in your timing. But just keep an eye on that clock the whole time, guys. Okay, read the question, read the question, read the question. Okay, believe it or not, this is one of the biggest mistakes that students make. Okay, students don't pause to read the question. If you don't read the question, you're basically throwing away marks. So read the question for understanding, please. Okay. Paragraphing, use signposting. Paragraphing is obviously depending on whatever text you're writing, that you know how to basically keep your ideas, similar ideas together in each paragraph, that you got a beginning, you got a middle, you got an end, that you're using subheadings or bullet points if the text allows, and please, headings, do not forget headings. Okay, use those discourse markers or those connectors or those cohesive devices to help your text flow. Okay, your examiner as a reader, we're going to be reading it. If we are struggling to read it or struggling to understand what the information is in that paragraph or how the ideas from this paragraph move to the next paragraph, it's going to affect your grade. Check your work. I know it's a difficult one. Okay, for many students, that last 5 minutes checking your spelling, your punctuation, your grammar, any awkward phrasing. Okay, I know it's difficult, but if you've practiced this enough, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, but obviously finish your writing first, and then if you've got the time, go through and check your work. Okay, so exams are tomorrow. This video is not just for exams, but if you got this far and you're writing exams tomorrow, good luck with your exams. If you're writing your exams in the future, that is great. You're ahead of the game because you're now thinking about your exams. So with that, nothing else left to say. Rock on.